Welcome to the John Brown Alliance. We're old school. We know the assignment. We're tired of talking and we're ready to fight. Right now, all over Washington, D.C. and vicinity, we have employed an army of people who are savvy with the technology, let's say. I don't know if you hunt for animals, but there is something called a game camera which you can purchase really cheaply. And we have been successful in recruiting people who hunt, people of color, to put these cameras all over Washington, D.C. Now, if anybody knows that whole big balls thing with him getting beat up and giving an excuse for Donald Trump to militarize Washington, D.C. was just a ploy. What it is designed to do is make Washington, D.C. a sundown town for black people so that white people can run amok and do whatever the fuck they want in the nation's capital under the supervision, I will say, loose supervision of Muriel Bowser, mayor. Another sellout. But I digress. Just to let you know, for every camera that didn't catch what exactly happened to big balls in Washington, D.C., just like we put out the vote in 2018, for every one camera, we're asking 5 people to put out game cameras, privately owned and to be monitored with their own computers. And this effort has been successful. It is not going to be on your news. It's not going to be on podcasts because we don't fear, we fight. We don't have all day to sit around and tell you everything we're doing and why we don't back this organization or the other. We just do shit. That's what people who are revolutionaries, who are not afraid, do when other people are cowering in the corner. So anyway, we just wanted to let you know that that's going on. So if you're ICE, if you're a member of Congress, if you're the Supreme Court, just assume that somewhere around where you are is a camera being monitored by a regular citizen. Because right now, you are usurping the United States Constitution on a scale that has never been seen before. And for all those insurrectionists and traitors coming and going out of Washington, D.C., we're watching your moves. We're watching your moves. You don't get to watch us. You don't get to violate the law. You don't get to violate our constitutional rights. And us not do it back. So if you want to violate my privacy, I'm going to violate yours. The next bathroom you walk into, or restaurant you walk into, or street you walk down may have a clip of you as a United States Senator or House of Representatives individual that is trying to overthrow this government right now in the state of Texas by stealing states. We're going to know who you talked to, when you talked to them, where you went, and how you find your way home. And we have a right to that information because Doge took it from us. We are about to take back what you took. We are about to take back this nation. Now I'm going to give you some lessons as an old schooler on white people. And I don't mean white people as in I'm a racist or anything like that. I'm just saying this is kind of how generalizations are made about Native Americans and black people, and everybody falls in line. And it's okay, like calling somebody a redskin is okay, and making that a football team name. But I digress. There are certain characteristics that make up white people. And you're going to have those few, and it is a few, like John Brown, who said, I'm just, no matter what anybody says to me, this is what I'm doing. Those people still exist today, so I don't want to take credit away from them. And I have tried to give them credit. But I'm going to let you know the anatomy of the typical white American. As a matter of fact, the anatomy of the typical white person all over the globe. Throughout history, white people have required 3 elements in order to accomplish anything as a race: a large group, firearms or bombs, and a target to scapegoat. No white man in world history, aside from John Brown, I would say, has accomplished anything without all of these 3 elements. White people are incapable of acting unilaterally, which means without their guns, their racist hierarchy, and someone to marginalize, they would become extinct. Because they have no other way. That's why we see the same playbook over and over and over again. And the reason why I get so upset about this is because people still think this is a new thing. It's the same playbook. If any one of these terrorists or their followers had to defeat us with nothing more than their minds, their bodies, the revolution would be absolutely over in a matter of days. This is why Max Schnelling got his ass kicked back in 1938. If you never had to fight for your life, you are already inferior. Already inferior. Now we're talking about Homo sapiens, animals in the animal kingdom. Without guns, white people are nothing. But over time, black people, Native Americans, and others have not acknowledged that. But see this supreme power over them, and their guns have become threats. But I get through all that. Words are just words. I respect you when you can come to me with the same thing I have at that time. Because somebody who is a warrior comes to win. They don't need firearms in somebody's faces, even though I would definitely use them. And I think people need to arm up. However, you shouldn't be intimidated by a loud mouth behind a gun. And that's the problem with black, brown, and red America today. It's that loud mouth. Especially black people. Elected officials. Especially them. That loud mouth and that gun will get you every time and round you up and make you a slave. And that's what they're trying to do. I'm not a lunatic. I studied Nazi Germany, slavery, the Reconstruction era, Jim Crow, and the Civil Rights era all of my life. And the same thing, by the book, is happening right now in America. But we doom scroll, and we look for people who are going to tell us what we want to hear. My very mission right now is not to serve me. I'm not even speaking as myself, because I don't give 2 fucks what you care about what I have to say if you are not about America. If you're looking for excuses to clock out, that's on you. I am a culmination of every single solitary drop of blood that has been shed since this country was incepted. You may be too. But you don't give yourself the chance to feel it and acknowledge it. And that very thing will propel you without fear to do what needs to be done to protect your children and grandchildren. That was the Indian way. We weren't savages. We were people protecting our children. And even though this concept is lost on all of America about protecting your children against guns, deportation, starvation, and I will call it now warfare with vaccines, and so on and so forth. If you have to question whether or not you're going to do everything you have to do to ensure that your children live, you're lost. And I can't help you. Now, when all this is said and done, not a lot of us are going to be left, because we've turned it over at this point. So right now, yes, I am absolutely for a general strike. Unfortunately, I think it's going to come too late, and people who are organizing it are trying to organize too much. We have set a date, September 1st, for complete shutdown. Canada, if you are listening, you hold the key to shutting down the entire state of New York and bordering states. If you want to protest Donald Trump on September 1st, shut the grid down. You supply America with that electricity. America does not supply that electricity to itself. So on the first day, Labor Day, we ask for a blackout of every activity throughout the United States that includes spending money to feed this machine. And we ask the state of Canada, if you're not going to come in here and help black people be liberated, or brown people be liberated from our country, this is the first step that you can do. And I know that by me stating this, I'm going to be called certain things. As an indigenous person, I have nowhere else to go, so I have to defend this land. So if that's how you view me, once again, you can fuck off. So, we're going to move on to other matters. With this general strike, you have two choices. You can pay now or pay later. I know this sounds like rambling on, and because you don't see yourself being attacked right now, physically, I'm sure you're seeing the price of things go up. Sooner or later, you're going to have to choose between food and electricity, air conditioning, and those sorts of things. And it just is what it is, you know. It just is what it is. Christmas is done, pretty much. And he's going to keep coming on TV, Donald Trump and all of them, telling you they're getting rid of the immigrants. And they're going to tell you some other thing. They're going to go on to Epstein and all that. My problem with social media right now is I cannot latch on to that one thing for hope. If you have been black, red, or brown in America, Epstein is not going to save you. Just like people like George Wallace and Richard Nixon didn't save you because, oh, all of a sudden you were posting things about it. You know, that's just buying into the psychodrama and basically falling for the okie doke. They're taking your attention away from the fact that you don't have any food, you can't pay your bills, you can't pay Medicaid, and your grandmother is going to get, thrown out of a nursing home. So that you keep, it's clickbait, it's doom strolling. That's all it is. And what we need to stop doing as people of color is stop looking at some white man's face on there and saying, or a black man now, and saying this is going to end Trump. This is going we're going to impeach Trump and all. Read, get educated. Stop believing everything. You are such fools. And it doesn't matter how many MAGA people find the fuck out, or Hispanics and all that. You're still idiots. Because that gets you off at night. That's what you feed off of. And that's enough for you. And when it's enough for you, you're a pathetic individual. The United States of America is not occupied by men. It is not occupied by free-thinking individuals who want nothing more to feed and protect their families. The United States of America is occupied by elitist idiots that have constructed a narrative to enslave the minds of everyone who will listen over and over again. There are no black victories that have been won since 2016. None whatsoever. Black people are marching right into the death camps because they're trying to scapegoat Africans that are immigrants that came here. Why? Because as long as I can make somebody else the enemy, I feel better. This is absolutely the same playbook. Yeah. You could blame white America after slavery for being toxic, for being cretin, for being violent, and for exploiting people. But when lynchings happened, Reconstruction, Black Wall Street, Tulsa, that should have been the wake-up call. But no, it had to be taken a step further. In the 1920s, with Birth of a Nation, Jim Crow laws, the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, and then the Civil Rights Movement, and still, once black people got affirmative action, they did not have the intelligence to understand that they were being bought just a little, paid a little price for their suffering. So that when the next black people came to America, they could say, they're the invaders. You're doing the slave master's job. When you don't vote, you're doing the same. When you don't show up, you're doing the same. People half my age right now are putting their bodies on the line in open carry cities to ensure the safety of the residents of those cities. What are you going to do? Is a tax-paid black governor of a state. The reason some of them don't care about black people is because they're married to white people, like Clarence Thomas. But I digress. So, that being said, I am hoping to put out quite a few of these videos in the coming days, and that's just where we're at right now. I'd like to end this by asking that people who are running for office as Democrats, when you did that in 2018 and 2020 and 2024, the people you were asking money for were already disenfranchised. They were already poor. We were already on public assistance, some of us, and some of us homeless. But yet we gave you $10 to save our democracy. Stop asking us for money. If you believe in AIPAC, go to AIPAC. There are people like Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and others who you can ask for money. Stop feeding off of us. Stop sending me emails asking for $10. I don't have it to give, and you fucked us over already. So why should I give it to you right now? We are really getting tired of that. Especially the women who are going out here working jobs to donate hundreds and hundreds of dollars a year to black men who don't stand up for black America, and white politicians who claim they're going to save our democracy. Let's say it. For ladies, this is your Joan of Arc moment. Don't rely on these pussies out here selling you wolf tickets. American men as a whole have failed you. So you need to stop listening to them, go on your own path, do your own thing, and do it without apology. They're not going to fight for you. You are the stronger sex, and I believe women will save America. But I digress once again. If you had all the information to stop 9/11, would you do it? Most of you would say yeah. But just like you had the information about Jim Crow, slavery, the birth of a nation, and now this, you have all the information. And you talk all this shit about how it wouldn't be if you were there at that point in time. You're at this point in time. And you ain't doing a fucking thing. It's all sizzle and no steak. And I'm talking at the highest levels. The mayor of D.C., the governor of Maryland, and others. They remain silent. Black people we elected to represent us as people of color. Wake the fuck up. Stop supporting these idiots. Stop spending money on them. Stop hoping for an election that will not happen, because according to statistics and how fascism works, you're going to be dead before then. Your ignorance is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And you are failing your children. Like I said, this has never been about me. And you feel no guilt. You have no soul. So I don't care what color you are, but don't tell me what I need to believe. Because I am up 24 hours a day fighting for a bunch of idiots who are sleeping, that attack me on the regular, on the street, about the t-shirts I wear and what I believe in, and that I'm not a Christian, and that I don't fall in line. Fuck you. You don't control me. I am the master of me, not you. So stop it. One of these days, you're going to pick the wrong motherfucker, And for every one of me, there are thousands out there. Now I want to wrap this up by saying that on October 19th, 2019, my best friend died of cancer. She was 86 years old, a Ute Indian. And the last thing she saw before she told me, well, she kicked my ass because that's how they do when they're in hospice. And the room was too hot. And she was in the house that she grew up in the 1930s. And it was small and it was hot and there was no air conditioning. But the last thing she saw was this. I don't know if you can see it. She grabbed this shirt and then she let it go. And those were the last words she spoke. And she said, "I give up." She understood the assignment and did the job. Whether you do or not makes no difference to me. Happy Sunday. Might be one of your last. The choice is yours.